Multiplying currency, ghetto poetry before it's over, bet they notice me. Dark nights is when I ride most. Watch out for 5-0, the way they treat brothers, niggas die more. I free my mind with grabber, filled with green flowers. I read the lines, you pump fake and we seize power. I peep your shine, you sneak and hide, they such cowards. I read your mind, my Jedi mind could crush towers. Place your bets on the sure thing. Don't count your chickens before they hatch, cause it's the small things that make you more efficient. Stay in the lab or the kitchen. I build my craft through the math, I'm a mathematician.
That means that the laws are all in all. So you all collectively become one.
Years are flying by, I begin to wonder why I'm left here all alone. Years are flying by, I begin to wonder why I'm left here all alone.
Circumstances make for strange bedfellows. Surface damage, separate best mellows. Play vestable, embrace next level. You don't have to wait, just do us innate. I'ma die way. We could race, press pedals. Play with more pedals than a florist. I'm taking tours through the cobbles on my mind, I'm waging warrants. Epicurus hit the bottle when y'all whine, I'm thinking Taurus. Nah, I left the Bushmaster inside, y'all ain't important. Let this shema spin you like a dreidel, cradle to the plot. The plot thickens if the label in the box. Your first week sales need padding. Tomato base waiting on the pot.
Yo, welcome back to Keepin It Lit podcast. If it's not real, it's cut. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I want to thank all the subscribers. Also want to thank everybody that tunes in as far as hitting their bells, and you guys are getting like everything on your phone. Hey, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We appreciate you guys. And moving forward, what we want to do is as far as the subscribers, we got a lot of you guys right now. What we want to do is start rewarding you guys for even jumping in and subscribing. So what we're going to do is start giving you guys merch. I can't give you a number on the merch as far as what number we want to hit, but we're just going to start giving you guys some merch going forward. Another thing we got going on is we're getting ready to go to Patreon. So with Patreon, we love you guys. We know that you guys love us as well. So support us, and we're going to also keep supporting you guys, and we're going to keep giving you guys fire everything. So, with that being said, we would like to welcome you guys with another rap producer as well as DJ from the Bay Area. His producing behind the scenes is crazy. He's been behind a lot of the crazy like music and shit that you guys have heard over the last years. Like, honestly, we're gonna have a conversation right now, and he's gonna be able to tell you like about who he's really worked with. Damn, I'm honestly a fan. This conversation is going to be wild, but I want to introduce you guys to the architect.
Peace.
How you doing, brother?
Peace to the people.
So, let's get to it. You good?
Yeah.
I want to make sure. He's like,
bang, right on the, yeah, right on the dot.
Interview time. So what made you start? My question, the first question I have is, did you want to start rapping first or producing?
I wanted to start rapping first.
Okay, so
but
let's be on some funny shit.
Yeah,
what was your first rapper name?
Oh wow, G Love.
G Love.
Yeah.
Right. What made it G Love?
I don't know, the lady that loved me. I don't know.
Okay,
but I don't know what I was thinking
LL
back
Cool
then.
J
You know what I mean? Yeah,
okay.
Something probably to do with that.
Okay.
That was a while ago, but
okay.
yeah, and then it just stuck.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But that didn't stay to be my name. You know what I'm saying? But,
right.
And I think we talking like what, 8th grade or something like that.
Okay. So then, how we get to the architect?
Well,
Wait, no, we're not.
Yeah.
First of all, we ain't gonna speak past the rap career. What happened with the rap career, brother?
Man, the rap, trying to rap led to me making the beats.
Okay.
Because you had to rap on something.
Right.
And DJ, and it was just hip hop though, because hip hop, you did everything in that era. You know what I'm saying? It's like I tried to do graffiti.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I wasn't good at that.
Fell off a few bridges and shit.
Nah, I never tried to get up like that, but
right.
Just doing my little writings in my books and whatnot, and trying to, you rap, you break dance. Every piece of the pie of hip hop is what it was about.
So without incriminating, what was your graffiti name?
What was G Love? But
Oh,
like
it
I
was still
said,
G-Love?
but it never went up on nothing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It wasn't like that. You know what I mean? It was just that I was doing all the all the forms. So I had my little, had my rap name. Had to do the rap shit. You had to do the break dance. You know what I'm saying? You had to, do some
that's
graffiti.
all a part of hip hop for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
you know what I'm trying to say?
Right.
And then making beats, and DJing, but really rapping led to the DJing.
So how did you get into making beats? Because I know that's not something overnight.
Really from being a DJ, which basically my pops, he was a DJ.
But you. Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
Okay.
when I
that's
say
where
being a
everything
DJ
started
though,
from.
you know what I mean? Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So my pops was a DJ, so boom, I had access to DJ equipment pretty early.
Okay.
So I was a mobile DJ at one point.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I tried to DJ at the high school, at the, first it was my 8th grade. I think we did something at the 8th grade at lunch or something like that. That was the kind of thing that happened back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, we bring the equipment up there and I had some equipment. You know what I mean? So
you already had your own?
Had my own.
Okay.
Stuff my dad wasn't using.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So having that equipment, basically, I'm trying to do what he's doing, but obviously I'm not going to play what he's playing. So I'm getting into the records that are coming out at the time or whatnot, and going around DJing.
So,
and at one point, I'm like, yo, I want to make beats and rap.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
Okay, so the name Architect come before or after?
No, that's still G Love.
All right, so that's still G Love.
Architect comes
Okay,
way,
well, keep
a
going
lot
with G
later, 'cause
Love.
This
Talk
is
to
like,
us.
this 8th, I'm talking about 8th grade though.
8th grade is wild. G Love.
But I was talking
is
about
wild.
8th grade. Like, remember that. I'm
Right.
talking about DJing,
Right.
people carrying speakers, you know what I'm saying, and all the whole shit. That's 8th grade though.
Okay.
So
Well, you had
8th
niggas
grade,
carrying your shit in 8th grade?
I mean, we was all having to carry the equipment, had to get there. We didn't have cars. I mean, we did have people come bring it in. I think maybe somebody might have had a car to come help bring it over there, but it was just bringing the equipment and speakers. You know what I'm saying?
Who DJ right now that didn't have niggas carrying their shit till they was like 25.
It's the homies though.
Right,
You know what
right.
I mean? Like
Right. So
and
then, how did the Architect come about?
the Architect, after being, doing the G Love, whatnot.
Oh,
Just
here
keep
we
it
go.
real, man. G Love and Special Sauce shit comes out.
Okay.
And I had already had reserves about G Love because, it didn't really necessarily represent the music side of what I was doing. It represented one thing, but not really the music side. But anyways, long story short, another dude came out named G Love.
Okay.
And he had big records though.
Okay.
So, you know what I mean? At the time, so it was kind of like, in my mind, it was like, you can't have two. You probably could have, looking back at it, but in my mind, it was like, nah, he already got it. He took it far. He got his shit big. And you heard of this G Love and Special Sauce. If you haven't, whatever. But it was a big record by this guy, right?
Nah, we don't know this guy.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
anyway,
this guy-
these guys had a big record. So
Right.
at the moment, I was like, yo, I'm gonna change my name, and I changed it to Architect.
Right. So, honestly, like, with that name change, that's dope.
Yeah.
Because
I think
now
that was an
you got,
upgrade.
like, you know what I mean? Like, a signature sound.
Yeah. Well, I
Go
felt
ahead.
like that was an upgrade.
All right. Well, no, I mean,
You know what I mean? At the moment.
I mean, you've been around the world with a lot of motherfuckers, like, so moving on from that, like, so, and then what? Because you got to think, you done been producing a lot of shit.
Well,
How did?
Okay, so let me break this down. So
For
after
sure. Hell
after the doing the DJ shit,
Okay.
I'm figuring out how to make beats.
Okay.
I figure out how to make beats. You know what I'm saying? And I'm around my city, Milpitas. You know what I mean? I'm making music with my folks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And learning how it goes and trying to figure out shit. You know what I mean? Being a DJ, I had access. I'm already listening to records, so I'm listening to the shit coming out and just sharpening my sword. You know what I mean? And
So, self-taught, or did you have somebody that wasn't in the wings that was helping you?
see, this is what I always say about me in particular. I was self-taught.
Okay.
Because there wasn't really nobody I could go to that. I mean, there was a couple people. Now, there's Ed Preston. I'll give him. I got a lot of
Shout
information
out
from
to him.
him.
That's what's
To the
up.
homie Ed Preston. Those who know what's up.
Right.
You know what I mean? But he gave me a lot of information. But real talk, like, I had to learn my style really from me.
Right.
You know what I mean? I didn't even, I had the fundamentals. You
So-
need a sampler.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
No, go ahead.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You
right.
need something to sample the records with,
Right.
and you need old records.
What's the first song you sampled? Off the Wall, Michael Jackson?
Nah.
No, before that?
Damn, I can't even remember. I probably couldn't remember the first song I sampled. Damn. I can't remember. It's on the tip of my tongue, but
Okay. But you
You learned the game of sampling.
it was probably something from James Brown.
Okay.
Or it could have been it was probably something from James Brown.
Okay.
One of the ones that stick out, this is before I even had the real joint.
Okay.
I had a mixer sampler because my pops, like I said, I had a mixer from him
Right.
that I got later in the game that was one of his extra joints. It had a sampler on it. And I sampled something from Lynn Collins.
Okay. What song?
And I don't remember the song. Man,
Okay.
but anyways, I had my homie Creep Nitty rap on that song. Brett.
Right.
And my nigga killed that joint, man. Because, back then we had all these little tapes going through our neighborhoods, you know what I'm saying? But I give credit to that because, the shit you hear from me today is still based off of that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like I said, so we didn't have a lot of people. I didn't have a bunch of people to go to
Okay.
get the sound. I just had records, and I would just sit there and analyze those records. I knew you needed to sample the records. So after a while, I got a sampler. And once I got the sampler, it was like, boom.
You just didn't know, like, in today's date, you don't have to pay for that shit.
Well, yeah, that shit wasn't cheap.
Yeah, not at all. So at that time, we was doing everything. Everything was kind of like, kind of underground. So you don't really have to pay for shit. Like, with that shit going on.
No, you had to pay for everything.
Well, I'm saying, as far as like with the homies, it's one thing when you just sampling something, like making tapes with the homies. But like when you actually start putting things on the mainstream, how did that like hit you? Like,
I went the route of coming up and doing things with people I knew. Well, as far as like, for instance, the Coolio thing.
Okay.
So boom, we already know. Boom, we move up from neighborhood stuff.
Right.
One of my homies plugs me with Coolio's brother. I go to LA and I do a song for Coolio.
Okay. Yeah, let's touch on that.
You know what I mean? That's just moving up from the
We're talking about
underground shit.
Coolio with the bird. Coolio.
Boom.
Yeah.
I go down there, I do that joint with him, and that just kind of introduced me to the record industry.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
After years of you doing your thing on your own from 8th grade up.
Yeah. But like I said, I'm still young then, so I don't want to make it seem like I was like, I'm doing my thing in my neighborhood. I'm getting my skills sharp. You know what I mean? I run into somebody. My homie runs into somebody actually who knows the Coolio situation. Boom, we go down there. We put that together.
This from before Fantastic Voyage?
This is that record.
And let's go.
You know what I mean?
What the fuck?
This is that record.
Let's talk about it. Because
So-
that shit was a hit.
Well, then not that song though. The song is I Remember on that album.
On the album, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know what I mean? But the homie hooked it up.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? My homie
Right.
Adonis, he hooked it up
All right.
through his folks or whatever. Boom, I go down there. I'm working down there with them and, putting the music together, whatever the case. And we come up with the song I Remember.
Right.
You know what I mean? And boom. But I was so stuck on being in fucking my city that honestly, bro, I did that for a minute. Boom. Then I did back. I had other groups I was working with up in the Bay. So then I come back
Let's
to
talk
the
about
Bay.
it. Who were you working with at the time?
I was working with this group, the Homeless Derelicts.
Dope.
Which is, it was on Stone's Throw. I was
Yeah.
working with Peanut Butter Wolf,
Okay.
Matt Brown, and these different dudes. But, we had a vision
Okay.
of what, you know what I mean? Of what sound we wanted to do.
Bro, I'm going to keep it real. I'm stuck on Coolio right now.
No, I get it. Though.
All right.
I get that.
All right.
So, boom. But the Coolio thing, I go down there, I do my thing, man. I mean, I didn't do nothing different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We got, he took care of me. They made sure I was straight. You know what I'm saying? I did the songs. We did a song with this other group called Gangsters and Thugs.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Also, so we did a few songs there. I got my little change. I mean, I was young, bro. So we talking probably like 18.
So think about this, like as far as like the album with the Coolio shit.
Like to hear your shit on that album, how'd you feel at that young? But it had to be dope.
I was like, that's fucking dope.
Right.
I was like, that's
Right.
fresh. There's a lot of backstory with the whole shit, but overall, I was like, this is cool.
Okay. So you could speak on it or not in that situation. Do you feel like you were compensated like you needed to be?
Absolutely.
Okay. Then that's super dope then. Shout out to Coolio. And his management and the motherfuckers who pay.
I mean, I sampled some shit that cost me a lot of money.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I figure that's where, for what I can remember, that's what the lawyers say. You know what I'm saying?
And
So,
lawyers always talk on the side of their mouth anyway.
yeah, you know what I mean? But it is what it is, man. It was a good experience, man. I mean, I didn't feel like I lost anything out of it.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was good with it. So,
And your name is out there, everything.
So that's another
no, my name didn't even go as an
Okay.
architect at that time because that was still prior to that change. So that record, it doesn't say the architect.
See, I was about to get at you with that too. Is like, so I know there's a lot of people who do a lot of producing and like do a lot of behind the scenes work, but don't get the actual, put on the fucking album. Like, they behind the scenes, they get paid, whatever, but they
My
actually.
name's on the album, but it's just like my name, I think, or something. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But that wasn't, like I said, I went down there with the mindset to be a producer.
Okay.
And be, what I mean? I wasn't really going to join the, crew or nothing. You know what I mean? It was like, and I figured that out pretty early. Me and my homie was talking about this earlier. It was like, he was like, yeah, man, fools would come to my crib, but man, he was like, you want a beat? This is back in the day, man. We talking pretty young. He's like, yo, man, that shit costs $20, or it's like something's gonna happen. I had figured that out young. You see what I'm saying? That nah, man, something's gonna happen though.
Right.
Like that probably comes from the DJing shit, because it was like my introduction into music is me getting paid as a young man.
Right.
So you know what I'm trying to say? So I just went down there to make the beat and get paid, bro, and come back. You know what I mean? I got mad love for Coolio and all them. I came back, but then I did my group. I had a group at the time. Boom, come back, start the Stones Throw shit with Peanut Butter Wolf. He starts that, and I am his first producers or whatnot. You know what I mean? And I put the first few records out on the Stones Throw joint. You know what I'm saying? Which is Peanut Butter Wolf, Stones Throw, for those who know. You know what I'm saying?
Right. All right, so this is what we're going to do. So we're going to come right back. Yo, we'll be right back. Keep It Lit podcast. If it's not, we'll be right back.
Yeah.
It's about fucking time, Lord. More text than Dennis Rodman, you don't want a problem. That white moving quick like Bird at the Garden. These streets starving like the Sudanese. Smack a fiend cause he kept trying to trade for TVs. Montclair for the winner, soon as it dropped degrees. Cognac Louis kicks, this drip, it costs a G. My bitch don't cost a thing, your bitch cost you your dreams. That sniff, we had to pitch like Kurt Schilling. Seen more blood than death row, Jordan's only retro. Drive a bitch crazy and never give her petrol. Crack keep calling and Pookie couldn't let go. Rap psychopath, spit it sicker than strep throat. Too intellectual, Rolly perpetual. Rappers hate my guts cause the fans say I'm next to blow. The text will blow savagely. To politics I'm anarchy. Cap like a team salary, you try to rattle me. We getting money on this side, with 4, 5s and 9s clap off when the tip's high. We shooting cops on this side, fuck the ops on this side. We killing suckers on this side. The penalty is death for a fucker who switch sides. We shooting cops on this side, fuck the ops on this side. Serving rocks, murdered blocks with these birds on the flock. Junkies was Carl Lewis as soon as they heard the cops. I prefer the ops over a friend. Your enemies remain the same and your friends always change in the end. I'm a Ralph Lauren specialist, they wonder what I spend. Gucci drip compliments the colors that I'm in. Document the wins, I'm so opulent with pins. I'm obnoxious with the profit, my whole stock is just the sins. See more violence than world wars, what I'm on this world for. Is it 9 to 5 life? Is it really world tours? I be on Twitter less and up in these girls more. What's wrong with y'all? Why you ain't fucking with girls more? Pearl toes, ruby red lips and big tits. Why you fucks too concerned with riding other men's dicks? The pen hits the pad violently, the fans start rioting. Old dog, they label me a menace to society. We getting money on this side, with 4, 5s and 9s clap off when the tip's high. We shooting cops on this side, fuck the ops on this side. We killing suckers on this side. The penalty is death for a fucker who switch sides. We shooting cops on this side, fuck the ops on this side.
You are now watching Keepin It Lit podcast, sponsored by BB Essentials.
What's up? This your boy Black Seed at RBO Posse. Yeah, sitting here with Keepin It Lit podcast. You already know what it do, man.
You know, killing or nothing, or none of that. But goddamn, I understand the world of...
Yo, we back. Keep it lit. We back with
Peace.
Architect still. So check this out. So when we left here, we're talking about the producing thing and behind the scenes and bro, so like a lot of people follow you. A lot of people follow like a lot of different producers that are behind the scenes. You know, a lot of producers that like do a lot of things behind the scenes that nobody else knows about.
Facts.
We have like some of the producers that like are out here that really ain't getting paid how they supposed to be getting paid or recognized. In your position, what did you do to keep yourself humble? Because I know you've been behind a lot of stuff that haven't been talked about, but what did you do to keep yourself humble to where you at now?
I keep to the art.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I do it literally for the art. You know what I'm saying? You know, and it's fair exchange.
Okay.
You feel what I'm trying to say? It's
right.
Like I'm, you know, it's still a fair exchange. It's not free, but it's for the art. You know what I mean? And that's how I keep myself, you know, entrenched in what I'm doing, because I look at it more like I'm doing it for me and hoping that people like it rather than I'm doing it for the industry or doing it, you know what I mean? Making something that I think this one or that one's gonna like. That's kind of how I keep myself, you know.
So do you look at it like, I don't give a fuck as long as my money, right?
Exactly. And I can do my sound.
Right, for sure.
You know what I mean? As long as my sound, I can do my sound.
Right.
And the bread is there and we good and we moving, you know what I mean, accordingly. That's what I'm looking for. You know what I mean? That's when it's the best situation.
So let's touch on something that's like a little touchy a little bit. So, I mean, we'll touch on it a little bit, but the Kanye Nas thing, what's going on with that?
Well, the Kanye Nas thing is interesting because, you know, the people, you know, it happened a while ago, but we put this album out. Nas put his album out. Me and my man Noah the Flood.
Okay.
Trill Life Mathematics, that's the album. And we got two of them joints out. Trill Life Mathematics 1, Trill Life Mathematics 2. And like I said, Noah the Flood is definitely one of the premier artists on the come up, man. Like, if you don't know about Noah the Flood, you need to go check that.
Okay.
Real talk. You know what I'm saying? But boom, we do the album. Me and him do an album. And we put the album out, and Nas puts his album out with Kanye West, and somehow we end up with the same record cover.
Oh, shit.
Then I did a little remix album. You know what I mean? You know, everybody be remix albums, like they'll do like the Jay-Z, you know, Black Album remix, or call it the Blue Album or something like that, right? Well, I had did 2 years prior this little Nas joint where I was like trying to, you know, do my version.
Okay.
Remixed all the joints, and I used a sample on there, and then I guess Kanye West ends up using that same sample.
Okay.
Now, you know, this is hip hop shit, so don't nobody own no loops. So I'm not saying that, you know what I mean? It's like, I know what the hip hop shit is.
Right.
But because of cover and the sample thing, the internet, they just went ham. And just, you know, they just went in and did what they did with it. But
so was that whole situation resolved? Everything was good?
I mean, it was, you know, it was nothing really. Circumstance is all it really was to me. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it wasn't like...
I mean, just looking at that, like, nigga, you rubbing elbows with the dudes.
I feel like great minds think alike. You know what I'm saying? So I took that, man.
Right.
You know, I was good with that.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm good with that, man.
Bruh.
You know what I mean? That's cool with me.
I really want to get into that, but we ain't gonna get into that. But that was dope, though.
Yeah.
But, I mean, just to even have your name mentioned in that realm, I get it. Except for, bro, you was around before then.
Feel that? Well, that's, you know.
That's a different story?
That's the part.
Let's
that's
talk
the part
about,
that can't take away.
Right. So, yeah, because you really got a unique sound, brother. So let's talk about your touring as a DJ, bro.
Yeah, touring is dope. You know what I'm saying? I've been on tour DJing for Planet Asia.
Souls of Mischief.
You know what I'm saying?
Tell me about them days, bro.
Yeah, rolling with Souls is cool. You know, we've been all over.
We had A+, so he
everywhere.
had nothing but like the most, like, he said you was super dope.
Man, that's my brother right there.
Right.
In fact, today is A+'s birthday, y'all.
Happy birthday,
Come on, man.
A+.
Give it up, y'all. It's A+ birthday today, man. Every season.
Birthday too.
Oh, give it up for my brother Terrell, man.
birthday,
Every
Terrell.
season.
Yeah.
You feel me? Yeah, man. That's beautiful.
And it's a special day. That's what's up.
Yeah, man. So with that said, me and A+, we did 4 records last year. Like, we was just blacked
told us
out.
the same thing.
Yeah, we did a Christmas record, man. Like, we blacked out.
Too. Yeah.
Yeah, we blacked out.
So how did that come about?
Well,
during this
I'm already
pandemic.
DJing, you know what I'm saying?
This pandemic,
then,
you know, it's
what
crazy.
I'm saying? The pandemic joint happens. I got the studio, so, you know, I'm over there making beats. He got the lyrics. Boom, we just put the shit together. And it was just, it's a no-brainer. I'm already DJing. We've already known each other for years, though.
Right.
All
No,
the
for
songs.
sure.
I got,
For sure.
I got the Vulture's Wisdom with Opio.
Right.
Me and him
That's
did
the
two
Opio,
records.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Shout out to my man Breakbeat Lou. Breakbeat Lou's, y'all need to check up on Breakbeat Lou, man. He's deep. But yeah, Breakbeat Lou. So
Shout
he'll be
everybody out. Let's go.
You know what I mean? So Breakbeat Lou will be like doing the turntables, and I'll bring out my beat machines.
Okay.
And Souls and Mischief will be rapping. So that's kind of how we do that show. So we put their songs on there and we just get busy, man. It's a good look.
Bro, but you hitting the scene and you doing the tour DJ. Bro, like, how's it working with all them different personalities, bro? You on the stage with 50 motherfuckers.
I mean,
Hey, you got a hype man?
Nah, that's up to the MCs, man. You know what I'm saying?
So you just back there like...
Yeah, I'm just back there making sure the beats and everything's dropping right. You know what I'm saying?
That's
and just, showing out my light right there,
So how did you become the tour DJ?
I can't even tell you, man. I know them brothers for years. So, we've worked together on albums and the different stuff. And, you know what I mean? I don't even know, man. Next thing I know, I'm just there DJing with these brothers as far as I'm concerned.
Ain't that about it, bitch?
You know what I mean?
Just wake up in the morning like, I'm in Japan. Fuck it. I know you probably toured everywhere, right?
Yeah, well, I've toured plenty of places.
What's the best place you've toured?
I got a...
No, don't keep it in the archives, brother.
Yeah,
we need it.
I like Amsterdam. I ain't gonna front. Amsterdam.
Oh, that's because that was the first place you was able to just blow wherever you felt like.
You know what I mean? I love Amsterdam. You know what I'm saying? Off
Right.
rip. That's where you settle down.
Right.
You know what I mean? But yeah.
All right. Well, give us one of your stories in Amsterdam.
Cause you sound like you got one in your head right now. Like, yeah, Amsterdam's lit.
Oh man. I might have to hold back on the story.
Oh, my nigga played the fifth. This is wild.
I'm plead the fifth today, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man. So Amsterdam was one of the dopest cities.
Amsterdam is fire though.
Okay.
Yeah. And I've been there a few times because me and Planet Asia went there before. Did some joints out there. Me and Souls did some joints out there. So but Europe in generally is pretty fresh.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I did some stuff down in South America on my own.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Which is, I love Brazil. Brazil's popping. I was down there for like 3 months just.
Can we get a story about Brazil?
Brazil.
This guy's crazy, man.
Very interesting. I was going to museums though, and I was dealing with some educational stuff when I was down there.
I was trying to catch up on the education.
Well, you know what I'm saying? I was with my uncle. He's a historian.
Yeah,
we was down there doing some other stuff, but no, Brazil's another great place. Yeah, that's completely off subject. You don't know. We chopping it up, so you know what I mean?
Nah, but y'all was really partying. Everything was dope, right?
Oh yeah, no.
Brazil, I heard, is like one of the dopest places to go.
Absolutely, I recommend it.
All right, tell me this: one of the worst places that you went to, besides the Bay Area, like when it was like one of them like niggas throwing like bottles and shit, and they ain't even throwing them at y'all; they throwing at the nigga that was the act before y'all.
Right?
you just walk out to the stage like, "Hey, nigga, we coming on."
Man, that's hard for me, man, because where I go, I be having good vibes. You know what I'm saying? So I really can't. I'm trying to think, man.
But you know what? Like,
there's places that I don't like because maybe the general, like when you out of the country, the general culture of it might not be what you into. But generally, I'm able to kind of go and meld into the culture of whatever's going on in that city or place.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I usually attract good energy. I don't really go into spots with the bad energy. You know what I'm saying? So I've been to a lot of places, but I can't say I've really had,
Well, a lot of the music that you produce or that I've heard, it's kind of the vibe is different.
True.
So y'all not coming there giving off the nigga, I'll shoot niggas on.
Yeah, it's a whole. That's what I'm saying. It's a whole another thing. So when I show up, it's like because the frequencies,
right.
If we talking from the level of doing the show,
right.
I learned this shit from DJing.
Okay.
Like what you play that night, and my man will attest to this.
Right.
What you played it, you can control the people that night.
Bug.
You know what I mean? Come on, Bug. Is that okay to do?
For sure.
Is that okay to do? Can I holler at Bug?
Of course
Bug, you already know, because you know what I'm talking about with the carrying the speakers, because I've done it with you.
Oh, man.
You feel me? Like, it ain't nothing to carry niggas speakers, man. Like, I've done that with my man over here.
What?
Man,
I could remember parties where I could have went to parties with you, bruh, and I'm helping carry the shit in.
Yeah.
House parties.
Back
You know what I'm saying? Back then.
to load the car.
But we knew back then. Which and really back then we didn't know when we was young, mobile DJs.
Right.
But when we started doing like, clubs, you can control the night with how you play the music.
Of course.
Because that shit's magic. You know what I'm saying? Like, DJs know that shit. Like, we could play some shit all night and have that motherfucker shut down in like 20 minutes.
Right.
Real talk. We could literally make the people mad. Now, I'm saying we could play the type of music back to back to back to back and create an energy that'll start a fight.
So...
Real shit in the party, and then we good money. We're gonna collect our dough and go.
All right.
No. I'm just playing. I'm just
hold
playing.
on,
You don't
Dodge.
do that. They don't do that on purpose.
I want to shout out to Brown Film again and let y'all niggas know I brought chicken today. He didn't help me carry it out the car, none of that shit. But he helped my niggas carry records. He helping them carry records. Anyway, back to your story, brother.
But you feel me though.
I feel
So
you.
with that said, it's like when you show up, you know what I'm saying? Like, one thing that really is a part of what I was doing is that, even with my name change, I came into the knowledge of self.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? When I came into the knowledge of self, you know what I mean, and started studying, then that, elevated my whole frequency. It elevated everything that I was doing. You know what I'm saying? And it,
Well, honestly, like the name The Architect by itself means a lot. If a motherfucker know what an architect does, a motherfucker knows an architect designs some shit to put some shit up, to make an infrastructure, to make a structure, to make shit move.
Absolutely.
So that makes sense to me.
Absolutely.
G-Love, though?
G-Love.
I'm with you, though. I'm with you. But I'm glad you moved to the architect, though.
G-Love, man. Watch your girlfriend. No.
I'm gonna go take her down and with the architect bill.
Don't leave your girlfriend with G-Love. No, I'm fucking around.
No.
That's back in the day shit. But you know what I'm saying? But like I said, once I got that knowledge of self, though, and I really got to give credit to that.
So what made you, like, bury inside yourself and, like, really, like, move where you're moving? Cause I'm gonna tell you, like, from moving to G-Love to the architect and the music that you create, bro, you create some dope ass shit to where you have to have some kind of like inside like lookout or healing or meditation to where you like, this is where I want to move.
Definitely. Definitely. I mean, it's definitely a spiritual thing to a degree.
Right.
Nothing spooky.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I'm inspired by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I'm inspired by, you know what I'm saying, Farrakhan. I'm inspired by, the Father Allah.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? So that information coming to me at that time, really, I was already doing my sound.
Okay.
But that just put the foundation to the sound on a whole nother level.
Right.
And then from that point, from that point, I'm a scientist.
Right.
I'm trying to pick them frequencies apart and really build on that frequency to affect the people. So with that said, when I go into a city, I do a show, I'm good money when I leave. You know what I'm saying?
Yo.
You know what I'm saying?
Keep that
play
thought.
my
We'll be
joints.
right back. Keep it right. We're going to be right back. Hey, keep it lit. We'll be right back. Architect.
It's the rapper, oh wow, and not Satchmo smiling. We equally prolific, get the cash in all ways. If it's pounds, then I'm down. If it's yen, I'm in. Get the hay ice and Heo dollars in Puerto Rico. Try to look through the keyhole of my life, you can see so many women in white linen sinning. Check my libido. Revealing menages, Brazilian Beyonce's. Skin is so coffee brown, killing me softly. What's wrong? Your one song suck like a dumb blonde. My catalog deep and it all heat like tough gong. Roll my blunts long, be legitter. He's a hitter. Never rock a pin chinchilla, but keep the killer. Since a million inside the cigar, build like a 5%er and Rikers pin up. You are hyperventilate and then what? Lose your mind and fall in line with the agenda. Man, magician, juggling energy. Better with me. We in kids, the main line. See me, we can build, reinvent the wheel. In Sao Paulo, Brazil, they recognize my skill. Before I hit the stage, legs play, you got to chill. Chicks flipping grills out of $100 bills. I don't give a fuck, hey, do what you feel. Get high off banana peels, just watching Man of Steel, Pimpery do. Smoke hickory too, might sip me a brew, other shit me a fool. Ooh, the mad magician, juggling energy. Sucking on a titty while you stuck on infinity. Enemy of the state, 100 G's cut the cake. Hustle like a car mechanic and cause a panic. Broad in a bra and panties, just off my rapping. Cause I got the raw vernacular, no hacking. Straight J-Cash, lay flat. Straight jacket. Light skinned nigga with heart, but not Mac 10.
I hear you talking. Come on in, man.
Check it. That him, Olin, you heavy as a bowling pin. My one line of Kid Coke, pure cane, I'm speaking no. Whoa.
You are now watching Keepin It Lit podcast, sponsored by Tissue's Table.
What's up, y'all? We're watching Keepin It Lit podcast with DJ TC. Check it out.
Yo, welcome back. Keepin It Lit, the architect. We left off for a second.
Yeah.
Let's bring it back to your spiritual real quick, and then we're gonna end on that. But let's talk about it. So, what finished making you like keep doing what you're doing as far as this situation?
Man, as far as what, just doing the music?
Yeah, no, as far as just like your style. And,
like, my style, yeah.
Wanting just to be for like, you know what I mean? Instead of, because you know, like, we get situations to where people start hearing other people and start trying to mimic that sound, but obviously you're not doing that. You kept your own lane.
Yeah, well, you know, it's so, like I said, once again, it's so entrenched in what I was doing. So
right.
I want to go back to like the Homeless Derelicts.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because that's a big reason why the shit sound like it sound.
Right.
So me and my man Grand, 50 Grand,
okay.
Grand the Visitor.
Okay.
Me and him had linked up, like I said, in the early, it was like 90, something like that, 90, 91, whatever the case. And we built the Homeless Derelict. So linking up with Peanut Butter and them, they were already signed. Peanut Butter, now look, when I'm talking about Peanut Butter, I'm talking about Peanut Butter and Charisma.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So
okay,
at this time, it's Peanut Butter and Charisma.
Right.
Peanut Butter, Charisma, Homeless Derelicts is signed to, not really signed to, we had a manager, this guy, Matt Brown.
Okay.
I can't really give you the details of how all that happened because I just don't remember. But
I'm guessing that was a bad management situation.
No, it wasn't. It was all good.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But dude ended up moving on. You know, shit happens. Peanut Butter ended up, actually, dude, we ended up putting out a record with Matt Brown. Mm-hmm. You know, Peanut Butter and them, they had a deal with Hollywood Basic, Peanut Butter and Charisma.
Okay.
And basically, really, here's what happened. So Peanut Butter and Charisma have the record deal. We're signed. They're about to be signed to Hollywood Basic. Something goes bad with the label in regards of, I think it was some type of creative situation.
Okay.
Of where the creative ideas were going to go.
From your side or from
No, I have nothing to do with this.
Okay.
This is just, you know, Charisma and Peanut Butter Wolf.
Okay.
But we're on the same management. During this time, Charisma comes by my crib, by my house. And I already knew Charisma because he's from Milpitas.
Okay.
And I'm going to break this down to y'all in a second. So
break that shit
this
down.
whole shit, I'm going to break this shit down in a quick second.
Okay.
So Charisma, right, comes by the crib, boom, we do this song called The Countdown. Okay. But Charisma's was dope anyways. Mm-hmm. And his other brother Tayade, they used to rock together too, and then Charisma linked with Peanut Butter Wolf, boom, boom, and they got record deals, whoop, whoop, we're on the same management, boom, but then Charisma gets murdered.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Rest
and,
in peace.
you know, whatever, I don't even want to get into any of that.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? But whatever the case happens,
yep.
My man passed away, boom, peace
right.
to the God, you know what I'm saying? But then Peanut Butter Wolf decides, I guess, to start his own record label. Something like that happens during that time. I'm trying to remember this shit.
Nah, brother, take your time. We ain't got brother,
so
take a drink, brother. We ain't got nothing.
No, it's all good. So, so boom, he starts to Stone's Throw.
Okay.
Peanut Butter.
Okay.
And we put these records out, Homeless Derelicts with Stone's Throw records, and that's kind of how, you know. And then my man Persevere and a couple other people, we put like 4 or 5 records out right off top through Peanut Butter with Stone's Throw. And then now today, you already know Stone's Throw's responsible for Madlib, Jay Dilla. You know what I mean? Like, you already know, man. It's like, come on, man.
Right.
But this is like the fledgling beginning of that. You know what I'm saying? And that's Homeless Derelicts. But during this time also, we linked up with these brothers, me and Grand, Homeless Derelicts, these brothers from Buck 50 Records.
We was gonna get into that next. Let's go.
And it's all happening like at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
All this stuff is happening simultaneously.
Right.
But anyways, so we hook up with these dudes, and they signed, like, I guess they had JT and San Quinn on their label or whatever the case at the time. So you know, we're all over there.
Let's go cast all the shit. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
This label got these guys on there, and Homeless Derelicts is coming through there. They had a studio in Richmond, so it was like boom. We were like, studio shit, we need to go over there. Mm-hmm. So we did some joints over there, but you know, whatever the case, that went, I guess.
You want to talk about it or you can't talk about it?
That just kind of just dead it out for us.
Okay.
I don't know what happened with everybody else, you know what I'm saying? But
right.
for us, wasn't the right look. We kept it moving. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man. So from there, I got to tell everybody, my man Encore, who was always on deck this whole time. Who Encore to me is just like, man, one of the illest MCs. at that time. So, and right now even, you know what I mean? He ain't rapping for y'all, but still, right now, probably still one of the illest. Anyways, boom, we hook up with Dan the Animator. Because we're actually recording all these records that I'm talking about.
Right.
We're recording them joints at Dan the Animator studio.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So boom, he's hearing the records. He's like, yo, Encore's on one of the joints with the Homeless Derelicts. He's like, what's up? So me and Dan put it together. Encore gets on 75 Arc Records. That's Dan's label. And we put out Encore's record. And I fully produced that joint.
So how many records have you produced? Because your name is behind a lot of shit. If you could just throw a number out there, what would it be?
I wouldn't throw a number out there because I can't.
It's that many?
I mean, I'm saying if you're talking about just records I produce for people.
I'm just about producer, period. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. If you just talking about shit.
I mean, because like, this motherfuckers around us, like, yeah, I produced like 300-400 records. Like,
I mean, recent shit. I got my man, the God Fahim.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got a record with him.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm on if you look into that world, you know what I'm saying? I mean,
right.
Planet Asia.
Right.
Me and Planet Asia did hella records, you know what I'm saying?
Right. So what about like with the A+ thing and the Souls of Mischief? Like,
me and Tajay, we got a new joint dropping.
What y'all got?
Bro, got a full album dropping. Yo, me and Tajay got a full album dropping. This shit's crazy. It's gonna be crazy. Cool G Rap's on it. Shit is nuts. Wow. And the Cool G Rap single's out. I meant to send that shit to y'all. That shit is out. You know what I'm saying? Tajay, Cool G Rap, that joint is out.
Hold on, real quick. So this is the whole situation. That's why we need y'all to tune in to Patreon, because once we on Patreon, this shit that he's talking about right now, we can drop that shit so y'all can hear it. Y'all gonna have to pay for it, but y'all be able to hear it, but it's gonna be uncut. Back to you, brother.
Yeah, man, support that shit, y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, so right now, my man Coach Cheese, I got a record coming out with him.
Okay.
My man Birdland, if you go look that up, I got a joint out with him.
So you just all over the motherfucking place.
Yeah, really.
All right, so during this pandemic, it's fucked up because niggas can't DJ, you can't be touring with people. Because I'm pretty sure you on the top of the list for motherfuckers who want to be like, yo, pull up, help me DJ or do whatever. Like, how you been working through this?
Man, I just been like recording, man. Just keeping that recording going.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
As soon as like March hit last year, you was like, fuck it, I'm gonna drop an album.
Dig in. Yeah, man. Record. You got the internet, so you're able to link out, touch down with so many different people.
Right. Well, speaking of that, like, money-wise, right? Business, so that like the pandemic shit hit, where you're not able to fucking tour, that type of shit, and different people are going to different platforms as far as social media to make money. Did that shit work for you? Or was that one of them things where you're just like, no, I'm gonna wait till everything open back up? Because, motherfuckers is like doing live shows on the Instagram, and, we got Bootsy like, what do he call that nigga? Oh, he called him some wild shit, Fuckerberg or some shit like, hey, so don't ban my Instagram, this is how I feed my family. But like, I know niggas have real jobs and do different things, but if motherfuckers make music, people want to hear that. So was that something that kind of like made things difficult?
Man,
Or now is it one of the things to where somebody see you something digital?
So look, because of how I move anyways, and because of what I do, I'm not doing this shit for money anyways.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
We got to eat, brother.
But we gonna eat regardless.
For sure.
You see what I'm trying to say? Like,
I support you.
If I was gonna eat, I was gonna eat no matter what.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? So it's like, but I'm gonna eat off this music.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that, you know what I mean?
Well,
I'm just saying that, I ain't doing it for money anyway. So when the pandemic shit hit, I was going to do it regardless. And because I have that attitude, that pandemic shit worked out for me kind of cool.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying that the pandemic was cool. Of course, damn, bless the people. You know what I'm saying? Or anything bad that went down from that. But for me, I was good.
So,
real talk.
So with that being said, so what I meant by that, as far as like just like the booking and just like the being out and about.
Yeah, that part. Now look, that part was fucked up.
Right.
But it's a fucking pandemic.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
I know you missed the tour buses.
You know what I mean? And I miss the tour buses. I miss all that, man. But
let's talk about it.
You know.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. You gonna plead the fifth?
I mean, yeah.
We're gonna play a game.
You know. I'm just saying,
we're gonna play a game. You ready?
But you know what I'm saying? Touring and shit.
Once
again, I mean, yeah, of course I miss seeing the people. And, you know, getting out there, you know, getting busy with the folks. Definitely.
We're going to play a game.
Yeah. But, yeah, we're gonna be out there, you know what I mean?
Keep it lit or plead the fifth.
yeah, that's a good one.
So, what was it like being with bitches on tour? You going to keep it lit or you going to plead the fifth?
I'm going to plead the fifth on that.
Plead the fifth on that. You about to make this game short.
Yeah, this is going to be short.
Worst group you've ever performed with? Keep it lit or plead the fifth? Tell the truth, please, brother. I'm going to drink for you, brother. I ain't even tell you to drink. Let's go.
Let me think about that real quick.
It could be anybody.
I'm going to plead the fifth on that, man. I'm sorry, y'all. I know how y'all feel about that. But listen. Sorry, man. I can't do it.
Hey, you want me to tell you what's crazy about this? Is everything you plead the fifth about, we gonna have to have a conversation. Cause now we know, like, ooh, this nigga got some stories.
Yeah.
All right. Keep it lit.
Okay.
Plead the fifth. Dopest tour bus story. Come on, you can't go plead the fifth on this one, bro.
Let me think.
And we don't want to hear about when everybody was rapping either.
No. Okay.
Hit that shit. What you got?
Let me see here.
All right.
I'm gonna have to plead the fifth on that, baby.
God,
I'm sorry, man. I know. We can't.
All right, sorry, folks. We're gonna get back to regular scheduled programming.
Yeah. We gotta go back to this. We gotta go back to this.
So, Architect, name a song that you rapped on or produced that may have changed your life. This guy's crazy. Hey, you know why? Because he want to talk about some shit right now.
Sorry, y'all.
Huh? Oh, he said he edited it. Hey, no, don't do it. Don't do it. No, but the song that you produced that you was like, y'all got this.
Oh, wow. Well, I was like, yo, this shit is fucking fire.
For sure.
What's the name of that song, man? The Professional.
Okay. For
Planet Asia.
So what made you know, as far as the views, as far as the playbacks, as far as like when you were at different places and like, because I'm gonna tell you like.
No. You know what? I gotta bring that up. No. You know what?
Okay.
I'm gonna bring that up to date because that's a little too far back considering views and whatnot.
No.
Okay. But because you said that, I'm gonna just bring it on up here because I got joints now that I thought was dope. The Playground joint with it's on God Fahim's album. It's God Fahim and Mark Hami.
But
shit fire. That's one of my favorites.
But back in the day when you were doing your thing, so there really wasn't no views like that. So let me take that question back.
Okay.
I'm talking about as far as like when you were somewhere and there was like actual like records being played, tapes being played, then to CDs being played, something that you was like sitting at home like, damn, I fucking made it. You was talking about some eighth grade shit.
Oh, yeah. You was talking about I'm hearing it?
Yeah, and you like, and the other motherfucker, you see their reaction like, yeah, I'm there.
But I'm hearing it on the radio or something like that? Or
it don't have to be the radio. It could
just
be
hearing it.
Yeah. Like, you know, like, because
I think the song Cash Money, man.
Okay.
That ended up coming out on Stone's Throw. It was one of the first records that Peanut Butter Wolf and Stone's Throw put out.
Okay.
But the song was made, and you know, back then you make a demo, then you go to studio. So this song was made. It was kind of floating around, and you know the reaction I would get from people of that song, you know what I'm saying, was just amazing. And then when it finally was recorded, then finally put on, you know, this shit took time back then. You know what I'm saying? Then finally put on the fucking vinyl. Then I remember hearing it on the radio. You know what I'm saying?
How was that?
It was amazing. I remember hearing Coolio shit on the radio. That fucked me up too. Because, you know, back then, you know, we go get our blunts, go sit up in the car, hot box and shit.
Right.
Had a fucking radio on. These motherfuckers was doing like Battle of the Songs or some shit they was doing, man. And they played that. I remember, man, on KML. I was like, what the fuck?
So,
like, I didn't even know that was going to happen, bro.
But, like, where was you at, though? You was like,
I was sitting in the car,
right,
hot boxing.
And
you
your
know
shit
what I'm
just came
saying?
on?
With the radio on, and they fucking did the Battle of the Jams, and that shit came on. I was like, what the fuck? Bruh. Yo, that shit fucked me up, bro.
Bruh.
I hope we can cuss.
Nah, you can't cuss on this shit.
Yeah, whatever, man. I'm saying, you know what I'm saying?
Can't be fucking cussing.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, my nigga. I was like, yo,
that
motherfucking shit fucked me up. So that was crazy. And I had some people with me that day, too.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And that was crazy. But then I also remember hearing the Cash Money joint.
Okay.
On KML. It was like, I think it was like during the Wake Up Show. Back in the day, during the Wake Up Show, it was like, I just happened to be having the radio on. I might have been getting ready to go somewhere or something. I don't know. The radio was
shit
on.
just started blasting
That
off.
shit came through in the mix. Yo, I was like, what the fuck?
I see
I was
you
like,
getting
yo,
dressed
listen.
like...
Yo, that's the best thing. When shit come on the radio and you don't expect it, that should be wild.
And that's fucking... You know what? I ain't never been through that, but I support that. That sounds like a good-ass feeling.
I think that's one of the best.
So then from there, you was like, yo, we got this. You just started reaching out to my folks. Or people started reaching out to you probably.
Well, you got that's a group context.
Right.
So I'm like, damn, this group, you know, our group, we did it up. Because you know what I'm saying? Like I said, outside of the Coolio shit, everything else I did was in the context of a group.
Right.
You feel me?
And
I only
even-
started stepping out doing production with other people.
Right.
That came a lot later.
Right.
But I had Encore I was producing with, and the Homeless Derelicts, which was 50 grand or grand a visitor. You know what I mean? I had Persevere that I was working with. So I had certain people I was working with that were putting records out.
Right.
You know what I mean? In that early time.
Bro, just even like, okay, don't get me wrong. Coolio was like, he great. I support him. That's my dude. Like, as far as like, we all been through the Coolio phase and everything.
Yeah, that, like I said, you know.
Yeah.
That's a little more outside. Like
the
all this other stuff
hieroglyphics
is.
and like the social mischiefs and like, you know, like, it's a trip that you was like really out there rocking like that. And you still doing it to this day. So, I mean, black don't crack. We all know that.
Yeah,
so now
no doubt.
You still
no,
doing,
I'm still rocking.
You still doing what you doing. Right now, what you got going? As far as like what projects you got going besides A+, because you can talk about the A+, because he said
the A+, you are, you are. Well, the people
sure.
should know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Me and A+, 4 records.
Yes, sir.
We got Free Dope.
Again, he spoke very
Chamber
highly
Games.
Yep.
Black Switzerland.
Okay.
These are the album names.
Okay.
And damn, I forgot the Christmas album. I called it the Christmas album. I forgot
Cold
Country. The shit called Cold Country.
Cold Country.
Cold Country. So that's 4 joints there.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be working on a new album with No Order Flood soon.
Okay.
Called, I don't know what we're going to call it yet, but me and No Order Flood rocking. Cochise. Me and my homie Cochise, we got a joint that's about to drop.
Okay. So you just been rocking.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, I'll be sending beats out to folks. Me and my man Squeegee.
Okay.
He just dropped something. You know what I mean, over my beats. So I try to reach out to all the, you know, rappers. I be, you know, if I feel your shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, this dude got some ill styles. You know what I'm saying? I'll try to send a beat over, reach out.
Well, especially right now, because it's hard right now. So
you know what I mean?
You looking out, that's dope. Because
you know what I'm saying?
A lot of motherfuckers that don't know what to do right now because they really can't move around.
I feel it.
Yeah, that's dope.
But I mean, you know, if you out there doing your thing and you come across my, you know, on the Instagram, on the internet, whatever.
I'm gonna keep it lit with you.
I try to work with people, man. You know what I'm saying?
We might need a beat for our next intro.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah,
people of power, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I try to work with folks, man.
Of course.
I mean, if you're ridiculous, of course, you know, if you're on some dumb shit. But if you got a little skill or some talent and it could be built upon, I ain't got no problem with trying to work with, you know what I mean?
I appreciate it.
Because that's how I came up.
You know,
so
and that's the thing too. Like a lot of motherfuckers like be on some wild shit, and there's people that are in the background or behind the scenes that can make some dope ass beats and really make you blow up, but people want their persona to look a certain way, so they don't reach out.
You know, I always tell people like this, man. I don't give a fuck who it is. It could be Drake. It could be whoever it is, man. It take one person to press that like first.
There you go.
You can't get the million people. They can't all do it at the same time.
Right.
that physics don't even add up.
Right.
You feel me?
You're 100%.
Can't everything be in one place at the same time. That don't happen.
You're 100%.
So somebody gonna do that shit like it once.
Yeah.
Appreciate that shit and do your work, man. You know, you never know. You know what I'm saying? Everything ain't gonna blow up. Some things will. You know, people will figure it out.
I don't know. Well,
that's on my artist shit.
Behind the scenes, everything you touch and blow up. So, and we appreciate
you know what I'm saying?
Tell me this. Hey, where can the people find you? The Architect?
Look on Instagram, Architect.
Okay.
HHP.
Okay.
Architect HHP. That's the best place to find.
That's the only social, or you got some more stuff?
My Twitter is also Architect HHP.
Architect. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I think my YouTube might be like that too. You know.
All right. So real quick, again, something that's out or something that's coming like in anytime soon, so they can look at online right now.
Yeah, right now you can go look up Birdland Halal 2. That album is crazy. Just put in Birdland Halal 2. Y'all find it. That shit crazy. I got a joint dropping with my man Coach Cheese here in the next few. All the A+ and Architect records are ridiculous.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
I support that.
And look for the Tajay and Cool G rap. That joint's out right now.
Okay.
Tajay Cool G rap.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Listen, check my man's out. You heard everything. You heard the socials. Yo, check it. Keep It Lit podcast. It's not purest cut. Again, we appreciate you guys for tuning in. We appreciate the subscribers. Thank you guys for hitting that bell. Yo, the Architect, go look him up. A lot of y'all know him, but if you don't, look it up. He gave you guys all the shout outs. Another shout out to Brown Films for doing everything and sponsoring this situation. Love y'all. See you guys next week.
Oh my God, Marcus.
Boom, guess who fresh out the tomb? Marie Laveau with some platform shoes. Aura hella pretty, I ain't gotta show my titties. Frequency made out of magic and it make these niggas shoot. I make them break their necks then drop. Make them break their necks then drop. Take out my wand, twirl around. Make them break their necks then drop. She's an alien, she's a freak. She's a weirdo, she's a creep. I be like, yeah, bitch, that's on me. Can't kill my vibe or my frequency. She's a goddess, she's a witch. She's beautiful, she's a bitch. I be like, yeah, bitch, I'm the shit. It's my energy you could never fuck with.